I'm Mike.
And I'm Brittany.
And this is NFGeeks. Welcome, Brittany. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
That's great. And so we're going to start a new trend of episodes I'm going to try to do with NFs, all the NFs. And it's a little sad and depressing. But I think that it relates to NF experiences quite well. And I'm going to call these Heartbreak episodes. And these are episodes where NFs feel deep heartbreak. And where it really sort of throws them off their center. Or, it really sort of hurts their NF hearts and feelings. And I think all NFs have some real heartbreak moments in their lives. I know I have a whole, a dozen.
Whole book.
Yeah, exactly, of heartbreak moments. So, all right. So let's get into it. So first of all, let's kind of define it, or you can define it what it means for you. What is, when I say heartbreak, how do you define it?
I just define it as a disappointment because I think I try to find things in people to build them up all the time, and then it's just they do something that's just so unthoughtful, and it's just like, oh, why'd you do this to me? It hurts. It's just like a severe disappointment.
Oh, that's fantastic. What does it feel like to have your? How do you feel getting heartbroken? What sort of, when you feel it, what's it like?
It's just, I feel like stomping on my heart.
Really? So,
yeah. So
that's interesting. So does that mean what you're saying is that even though the person sort of cracked it, you're the one actually breaking it?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's weird, but yeah.
All right, so the first thing I want to ask is, what makes you do that?
I don't know. I think it's somewhat disappointment in myself because I realized that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have built them up to be this person. Or maybe I expected too much.
All right, so what you're saying is that you are experiencing your own idealism, meaning that this is sort of your fault that you got heartbroken.
Right. Yes.
Because you had not realistically saw the person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. That's tough. All right, so what are some moments when this has happened, when you've really felt it?
There's been a few moments lately, actually, that it hasn't been huge moments.
Sure.
It's just been friends, I text them, and I'm like, oh, you need help doing this, or do you need anything? And they'll say, yeah, but then they'll completely ignore me for the rest of the day.
Oh, really?
And it's like, okay, so I was putting myself out there trying to be nice for you, and then you ignore me.
Oh,
it hurts.
For Brett.
It hurts right there.
That's terrible, Brett.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's horrible.
That's just what's happened lately, and I'm like, aw.
All right, what do you think? So, all right, but that's interesting because what you're suggesting is that there's a pattern. There's a pattern of heartbreak going on. So what do you think is... All right, not to put this on you totally, but what... Because, I know you're heartbroken. You're horrible. What part of this are you creating? Because there seems to be a pattern going on. Yeah. So how is this relating to you, your thoughts, your behavior?
I think for me, it's like I'm always there when people need me. It's like I go very far of my way a lot of times to help people or just to help them get things done. And then I think I assume that I'm going to get that back at some point.
Yes, that's a common... Yeah. That's great. That's a common NF problem that NFs have, is that we sort of, wrongly, and I would say irrationally, think that people are going to give back the deep love that we're giving, especially the other types. And that's irrational on our part, I would say. That shows a lack of understanding of the other types, not using our empathy. I often point this out to NFs, is that when you do that to NTs, you're actually doing something bad to the NTs, okay? Because you're not seeing NTs as NTs. NTs have a horrible time returning back emotions. Yeah. It's a struggle for them. It doesn't mean they're flawed. It's just this is really hard for them, and you're sort of expecting them to do something that is really difficult for them to do, and then you get mad at them. You know what I mean? So don't do that to the NTs. Do you know any specific types where this has happened?
I think it's mostly because it's happened with a few other NFs as well.
Oh, God. NF on NF violence.
It's the worst.
That's horrible. Yeah, no kidding.
You feel like, no, you should. It should be.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Right. I was just...
Ever.
Oh, no. Someone's been outed. Yeah, I know. In fact, we were just... Right before we did these videos, I was talking about my own sort of heartbreak with an NF. So, I mean... Yeah, it's really horrible. Why do you think this happens between NFs where you would think that we'd be so empathic and connected that we'd be the last people where this connection would be
because we know the hurt.
Ah.
But I feel like it's kind of the abused end up abusing.
Oh.
I feel like that's how it is.
Oh, that's a brilliant theory. Right. You become the abuser.
Yeah.
To compensate for your own abuse. That's great.
That's what it feels like.
Oh, wow. You just invented a new NF theory for NFGeeks. That's awesome. All right. Have you had experiences of that? NF on NF violence. That's what I'm going to call it. I know it's not real violence. I know people aren't getting bathed because NFs are big
NF
babies.
against NF terrorism.
Right. NF violence is writing an angry poem in the journal. You know, and then giving someone the silent passive-aggressive treatment. Like, I wrote an angry poem about you. You know, that
You'll
kind
never
of thing.
see it.
You'll never see it, but know that I will
think of it every time I see
That's
you.
right. That's right. And there were very dark metaphors about clouds. You know. Isn't that funny? So really, it's not necessarily the SJs or the SPs.
Right.
It's really other NFs.
Right.
Is there a specific NF that this has happened with? Not a person, but a specific type.
No, it's happened with a few. I think it's happened with every single NF I ever come into contact with, other than the ENFJ. I have loved my other ENFJs, but it hasn't happened with them. But INFJs, it's happened. ENFPs, INFPs, it's like...
Oh, that's interesting.
It's happened every time.
What's happened with me is that the INFP one, because I've had INFP heartbreaks a lot, and a lot of them are repetitive. You know, so it's almost like a cluster bomb event of heartbreak. And it makes me really sad. Now, I've had INFJ heartbreak too. But that one I find, and I don't know, I have to explore this within myself. It makes me frustrated.
Yes.
When I have INFJ heartbreak, I grab my fist like this, like, INFJ, what are you doing?
I don't understand it. Like, especially with the INFJs.
Right, because it's very passive-aggressive.
It's like, why are you doing this to me?
Yes.
I don't understand. I'm mad at you, but you're mad at me now?
Yes.
How?
And right, I know. That's because they slightly put it out there metaphorically, but then it's sort of this vague, nebulous thing. So it's hard to see it, you know. And that's not dogging INFJs.
No,
I love INFJs. Yeah, absolutely. I have lots of love affairs with many INFJs going on, in all sorts of directions and things. So this comes out of love, certainly. All right, but because of that, I feel like I can sort of get back in tune with the INFJ, although not always. But with INFP, it's hard because, you know, I get back in tune, and then there it is, all the cluster bombs. You know, it just comes right back.
I actually understand getting back in tune with INFJs because, like, a bunch of my friends are INFJs, and we'll have this tiff, but as soon as I see them face to face again, it's fine.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's like, okay, going on.
Oh, that's great.
But until I see them face to face, I'm so angry at them.
Yeah, you know, this is what I do with the INFJs. I do that, you know. With the INFPs, it's like this. Oh, what are you doing?
That's how I feel about ENFP.
Ah, sure. That's, well, I wasn't doing a face palm. I was doing a crying thing. I can't say I've been brokenhearted by an ENFP yet, actually. I'm sure that's coming. Now that I just said that, I just jinxed myself for that happening, you know. All right, so speaking of INFJs, I have an INFJ friend on YouTube who does videos called INFJ Front Row Seat, who I have unconditional love for, I admit. And but agape, it's not eros, it's not erotic. Not yet. Maybe. But no, it really isn't. But she informed me of this really wonderful INFJ metaphor about broken hearts that I want to see if you can connect with. And she said that, you know, what happens is the really reason why we can't heal a broken heart is because the pieces are missing. And this is why we can't get it together. So what happens is every time you break your heart, a piece falls off and is left somewhere in the past with another person. And then you get brokenhearted again, and it's in the past. And so when you're trying to heal it in the present, there's all this missing stuff, you know, going on. You know, it's like you break a piece of glass, and you're trying to glue it together, but you don't have all the pieces. So the glass doesn't work. It can't be a glass. Right. And what you kind of have to do is go back to, you know, not literally, but kind of go back to where the heartbreak took place, and find the pieces and heal and forgive, and then that puts it back. Now, I haven't been able to do that at all. Okay, although I understand what she was saying, I was like, oh my God, she's absolutely right. But I've been struggling. So when so how do you feel about this? And has it happened? We have pieces all over the place. It might not necessarily be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone breaks your heart, piece falls off.
Right.
Another person breaks your heart, piece falls off.
I completely understand that. Even taking another step to like romantic relationships or anything, I'm a firm believer in you should not be with anybody until you're completely whole with yourself.
Oh,
really.
Yeah, like self-love?
Yeah, and so it's kind of the same way. It's like you have heartbreak from previous relationships, and you really can't move on until it's somewhat put back together, or the whole relationship's gonna crash and burn.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
It's I can definitely understand that as far as many other relationships go too.
Well, was there a moment where you didn't do that and the heart got broken?
I've actually been pretty good with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't just rush into anything new unless I feel comfortable enough or whole enough in order to.
Oh, that's great.
Move on, so.
That's fantastic because ENFPs are notorious for like falling in love in like 2 days. You know what I mean? We get there.
Yeah.
We get there fast.
It takes me a while.
Yeah, maybe that's the J.
Yeah.
The judging part.
It's like I can like someone and enjoy being in the company, but I don't fall in love for a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes you a long time to fall in love.
Yes.
Yeah, not that you fall in love for a day and like you're done.
Right. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. Can you be specific about? All right. No. Let me go backwards. How do you think you arrived at that wisdom? What brought you to that idea? Because that's a very good idea, and I say that because I don't do that.
Yeah.
I just jump in without a parachute. Nothing.
I have a lot of experience, just watching. As I grew up, I saw a lot of very dysfunctional relationships and people just jumping into new things, not being ready, and everything crashing and burning. And I always watched that, and it kind of made me nervous at first, as if, like, maybe I'll never find somebody to be with for long periods of time.
Yeah, I believe that's how I feel now, and I'm old.
And so I always watched that and just, like, took mental notes, and I noticed that everybody was broken while they were trying to get in these new relationships, so it was just causing more traumatic experiences.
Oh, that's very intuitive of you and observant. Oh, that's great. I wish I was so lucky to be like that. Even hearing it, I know, okay, I'm not going to do that. Because not that it's wrong, I'm just like dysfunctional. All right.
See, I learned from my dysfunction.
I know, good. Well, I do. I learned from my dysfunction too, but not that one. Just not other ones I learned from, but not that. All right, so let me kind of get a little more abstract about this. Have you ever been brokenhearted by something non-human, like an institution, or something more abstract, like an idea or a car? You know what I mean? Because I've been brokenhearted by the school that you and I have been a part of. I actually fell out of love. I want a divorce.
You too? I did get a divorce from what broke my heart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was it?
I was part of the big, in a big honors program, and I was very excited about it. It had promises of take control of what you want to learn and make what you want from it, and like have your own experience. And I was very excited about that. And come to find out, no, they just want you to still follow their rules completely and not grow and not like.
See, that goes back to the thing you're saying about idealism. Did you stomp on your heart then too?
Yes.
Oh no, Britt. That's jeez, that's
well,
so
see,
sad.
It wasn't quite that bad because I still believed that it should have been what I wanted to, and my particular project I was working on, it wasn't living up to my standards, and I wasn't learning anything from it, and the institution just beat it out of me.
Yeah, I actually, on the other end of it, as faculty, at one time I had a real issue with this because I had this really great idea. A student came to me in ethics who said, "I want to do this. I want to do this honor project, in a certain way about ethics." And I said, "Great. Well, you know what would be very interesting? Why don't you do something with Martin Buber and I Thou, and kind of have an experience of what I is like and I Thou, and you have to know what Martin Buber means by that." And so we submitted it to the the head of the honors, and you know who that is, the same person. And my God, he was like a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like, restrictions, restrictions, restrictions. And I would agree to the restrictions, and I'd send something back, like, okay, this is what we're going to do. No, that wasn't enough. Like, no matter what, there was always this control thing happening with it. I couldn't escape it. So I kind of I didn't break my heart, but I absolutely understand what you're saying, because I had the same experience from the other end of it.
It's like, don't tell me I can make this thing and watch it grow, and then you won't let me make what I want.
Yeah,
you're a liar, sir.
Yeah, that's right. You try to grow a plant, and they're they're pouring gasoline and all sorts of chemicals on it. All right, well, great that we're out of time, Britt, but thank you very much. That was really very good. Thank you.